Today, we would like to speak about your birth into this world. You came forth into this physical world with a deep knowing, unable to communicate, and not knowing how to maneuver this new form. This is part of the plan, this learned helplessness. For you all know, if a baby is not cared for, it will perish. In this new form, this total dependency is a time of observation and learning. The learning is a being or understanding of your surroundings, of how this dimension functions or operates. This knowing or learning builds a rooting or foundation for your experience here on earth. There is sort of a telepathy that occurs, for lack of a better word to describe it, an absorbing of knowledge. The densities of others are absorbed by you. This is the place one learns of consequences or results by actions. For instance, as the baby cries, the adult or the different adults react to that cry in a certain task or behavior. It is by this that the child learns how to manipulate its surroundings to get what it needs. For instance, the stomach is uncomfortable, the baby cries, and food is given. This makes the baby feel better, and so the baby learns this uncomfortable feeling can be relieved by this crying. This learned response happens throughout a human's life. Different responses or reactions from different people. This conditioning and learned responses makes us all individual because no two humans experience the same pattern of learning. This pattern is what can make relationships with others difficult because as the human is trying to evoke certain responses, other humans may not be conditioned in that fashion. This is what creates difficulty in relationships. Humans spend much time searching for mates that operate in a manner that they are familiar with, the way their mother treated them, or parents, or siblings. So as you can see, those deeply conditioned responses or patterns are difficult to change. As you observe your past, think of those conditioned responses and then notice into your adulthood what close relationships you have and who emulates that condition or response now. The question, what are you looking for in a mate? If you do not purposefully create a pattern you foresee in the future, then you automatically default to a pattern that you are used to in your past. Many times a human may think they are selecting differently, but then begin to shape their world by using patterns they grew up with. It is true that healthier minds can attract healthier if both parties are aware and have done their work. As you begin to evolve throughout your life and can function independently, you will notice how to maneuver people around you, how to condition or recondition them, if you will. That is why humans say healthy role models are so important in one's life. Relationships among humans can be perplexing. This underlying manipulation of the mate by both mates can be challenging. This is why in your country so many marriages end in divorce. It is a rejection of the manipulation or a lack of getting the desired response from your mate. In your world, there is much unhappiness, a searching for meaning. Humans are dissatisfied with their existence. as they look at others and see what they want, what the other is doing or having. The other appears to be happier, to have so much better conditions. The perception of the better conditions brings much unrest. Your world is a place of much confusion, much density, much unsettled, unrest, because humans do not understand the ways of the universe. This conditioning is learned behavior, and humans can relearn a healthier behavior. In your dimension, there is much dismay as we see it. Some call it negativity or heavy densities, negative feelings, illness, feeling bad in your body. Many illnesses are brought forth by this inability to get the response one is desiring, and it manifests in the body as illness. Another way is holding on to the bad feelings about oneself and then masking or attempting to mask those feelings. So each human has returned to the earth many times. Before you come to earth, you go into the Hall of Records and study what it is you would like to learn or experience while here. There is a sort of viewing area to watch other humans. It is through this viewing that one selects or determines several key experiences they wish to be in and create from that space. This is referred to as creating your life story or journal. Each human has one before entering the earth through birth. You are familiar with the way and people that you will emerge or be born to. Many of these souls you have journeyed and created with time and time again. Usually, you are of similar vibration and have the desire to experience a connected creation. That is why, when a fellow co-creator leaves this earth, there is such longing for that creator. You have known this person more times than humans can grasp, and there is a strong connection. When that person leaves physical form, they still very much exist, only in a different state or matter. They can still communicate to you if you are clear and quiet enough to hear their communication. It is yours for the asking. Only a small percentage of humans have this knowing. Many hear the communication, think of their loved one, but dismiss the actuality of the communication. They say, "Oh, that reminds me of my loved one." You were clearer when your husband left. You questioned it first, but then you had the knowing. As you experienced, it was not conversation you could have with many humans, as they have never experienced this, and you felt that they would label you a little cray-cray, as you say. It is very much real, this ability to communicate. This is done by lowering your frequency and mostly a clearing of the mind to allow the information flow, much as we are communicating with you nightly. As we discussed, the reason we come to you in the night is that upon waking, you are very quiet and receptive before the busy of the day begins to occupy your mind. Your goal during our co-creating is to keep this channel clear so that the information may flow freely. You have offered to be co-creator with this information. It was in your book of life prior to your entry upon earth. It is time, as we have told you, and you know innately. This is a time where many humans are in position and much co-creating or spiritual knowledge is being imparted upon them for them to bring forth in the world. This is the new dawning, much as the Mayans predicted at the ending of their calendar. That was co creating, that calendar, through spiritual co creating. This awakening will give clarity to seekers and will elevate the level of creating on earth. Your book of life was such that you wanted to be spiritual co-creator during this time. You are teacher. Your words are powerful. The information will touch many. As you read this information, some will resonate, some may not. Humans move at different vibrations and will understand at that level that they can comprehend at that time. As you have experienced many times, when you revisit spiritual information at a time in your life, you get a new and different meaning. This is due to the change in your vibrational energy. As your energy changes, so will your level of knowing. There is much love here for you.